Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here, back for some more horror news. That's what we're tackling here for a little Wednesday late night with the Davey. We did this last week. It's kind of nice, guys. We've gotten some, movie news and just other stuff in the horror sphere popping off as far as creative works go. And gosh, we've still got a whole bunch of movies coming out, right, in the next 4 or 5 months. So we're going to dive into some cool stuff here. There's actually a little bit more than I even thought when the day started. Shout out to Eli Cortez for throwing me a bone on one of these things that I did not see on Bloody Disgusting. Maybe I missed it because, guys, unfortunately, Bloody Disgusting, I know I mentioned this before, they have kind of revamped their website, and it is awful. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like navigating it, but I do, trust them in their kind of secondhand reporting on a lot of this stuff, and I've grown accustomed to the Bloody Disgusting people. So John Squires, if you're listening, please go back to the old website. Was so much better. I mean, whatever's going on now, I can't stand it. It's separated from like movies and TV. Everything's separated instead of just being able to go to it, like the Drudge Report. Just make me go to one page and I can find everything just by scanning through that page. That's simple as enough. Anyways, so maybe I missed one of these articles or one of these bits of news. Thank you, Eli, for bringing it to my attention. And yeah, guys, we are going to jump into this. I'm going to hop on over and see what's happening with y'all and everything like that. But yeah, I just want to, take one sec. The other day we had a pretty somber stream, covering the loss of Hayden Panettiere. And I just want to say again, thank you so much to everybody that joined in on that stream. And thank you to everyone that, shared. It was, some people that have been hanging out on the channel, some of you for years, that shared some things that I had no idea about, and things that were, deeply personal and vulnerable. So thank you guys so very much. Thank you for keeping things very respectful in the chat, and just, being there for one another. I just want to get that out there again. And I do want to let you know, as far as like covering horror news, I cover projects that are being made and stuff like that. I'm not going to, as far as everything goes with Hayden, we've said our piece, we've done our mourning, we've done our celebration, and it's not the last time we're going to have a talk about mental health in the community. However, I'm not going to be like following up on any sort of, news related to those circumstances, because that's just not the thing that we do here. I think would be kind of gross. So I just want to let you know, if you're curious at all, like, oh, I wonder if Davey's going to cover that. No. We're gonna talk about creative projects and stuff, and we're just gonna continue to respect the life and the work of Hayden Panettiere. And God forbid if anything like this ever happen again, it's just something where I'm not going to dive into those details and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to see if we can get this back to our, normal kind of energy. I know that a lot of us are probably still processing this, and there's still some pain and everything there, but I think we can, come together here tonight and sort of, let this be a reprieve, and let this be, just let ourselves relax a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna jump on over, say what's up to you guys, and then we will get into some news. Let's see here. Prince says, I'm glad that Linda Dubadoo is happily exploring the lore of Friday the 13th with an open mind and really just having fun with it. Gen Z will possibly enjoy it and pique their interest in the films because of the show. Yeah, I know she resonates with the character and everything. Maybe, is there something that she recently said, Prince? Because I don't know exactly what you're referring to, or maybe it's just something she said a while ago. Let's see here. What's up happening, Lamontre? Welcome on in. We got Paula Fitzhenry, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Paula? Paula likes the thumbnail. Well, thank you, Paula. I put together most of the thumbnail myself, but obviously the newscaster version of me is a picture I threw into Copilot and had Copilot help. What's happening, Lito? Mr. Hollywood Lito. Yeah, guys, oh my gosh. Last night I went and saw New Junk City. If that name sounds familiar to you, you're like, why does New Junk City sound so familiar? Like, there was a part of me that was like, what is that? And I'm like, oh my, that's the first level, I think, of Earthworm Jim. I'm pretty sure that's what the first, maybe it's the second level. I think it's the first level. Anyways, gosh, I don't even have my banner going here. I'm just like rinky dink operation. Okay, there we go. The show is amazing. I got to see my buddy Gil and his band Ghost in the Willow. They're from here in Phoenix, Arizona. They're incredible, guys. Oh my gosh. Like if you dig like a replacement style kind of jangly rock and even stuff that moves over into the more like, you know, pop punk kind of vibe, but you know, I would say like mostly like just a really good rock and roll that leans a little towards that, you know, just a fantastic band. And Gil's such a sweet guy, and it was awesome. Usually I see them at, you know, shows at bigger clubs opening up for, you know, like at the Van Buren here in Phoenix. It was really cool to see him in an intimate setting because this was at a bar called Rips. And guys, Rips is maybe, I should have checked the capacity sign. Maybe you can fit 1,000 people in there. No, probably like 800, and you're probably like pushing it for the fire chief, you know. So it's a cool little dive bar. It's a really sweet like building. They do a lot of punk and like goth and metal stuff there. And it was just really fun to be out and about in that environment. I don't know if all of you guys know this, but you know, I played music for years and years growing up. It was a big part of my life, you know, playing and touring in bands and recording music. And since leaving that kind of sphere to start this chapter over on YouTube, things have just been, you know, you just take a step back from all of that. And it's really cool to jump in and hang out with some sweaty dudes that have been in a van for weeks. And I'll show you guys. How about this? I purchased their record, Beg a Promise. This album is really fucking good. They all signed it for me, which is dope. I think John even did like Hearts and the Freckles. John is the lead singer. Everyone was super personable. Man, Dakota, John, Jeff, Mason, thank you guys so very much. Dakota is the mascot of the band. That's what I learned from watching last night. I'm like, this guy is the mascot. But let me show you not only that, not only how awesome this giant piece of physical media is. This is the real physical media. Movies are cool. This is way cooler than a steelbook would ever be. Like nothing against like movies. Like I love movies, but a vinyl is way cooler than any kind of like the only kind of film media that could match a vinyl would be actually owning the movie on a reel-to-reel, you know, like actually owning the film. But let me show you what's inside. This record is gorgeous. Look at this like peachy. Oh man, it doesn't have the vibrance that it has in real life. It just, let me see if I back it up. It does. I don't know. It's got this peachy kind of look to it. It's a really sweet looking vinyl. But not only that, I also got, where is it? I mean, there's liner notes in here so you get your lyrics and everything, but I also snagged, I'm gonna let it hit me in the face. I got the set list. Dakota was like, do you want a set list? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, it's useless. It's garbage, but if you want it, there you go. So thank you guys so very much. New Junk City was great. Guys, they just announced that they're dropping a new album on November 6th. I would say if you like Replacement, Tom Petty, Elvis Costello, Iron Chic, what else? If you like kind of like jangly, folky rooted music, but you also dig a punk energy and a punk urgency, New Junk City's for you. Absolutely. They just dropped a single today. Album coming out November 6th, and I think their Insta is New Junk City ATL because they're from Atlanta, Georgia. So how about that? So there's my little commercial pitch for the fine young gentlemen in New Junk City. They were a blast. I'll share some like pictures from the show on social media. I have just been, it's just, I feel like my life is a never-ending whirlwind. So anyways, I will get there at some point. I'll get there, guys. Hopefully later tonight. Let me just say what's up to everyone else. Ryan West jumping on in, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Ryan? Tia Nina, one of our fantastic channel members. Tia, it's so great to see you. I know that rhymes, but I don't plan to say it every time. Let's see what else we got. Holy cow, Paula Fitzhenry's dropping a $5 super chat. Of course, she wants a watch party. I totally get it. Yeah, guys, if we get, 5 super chats of $5 or more, I'll unlock a bonus stream for this weekend. Usually I go live at some point in the weekend, at least on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern. But if you guys want to unlock something for Friday or Saturday, then that's the way to do it. And if not, not a big deal. We're still going to hang out tonight and have an awesome time. And you'll still see me on the weekend. Luke Ponto dropping on in. What's happening? Luke says, what's going on, man? Hope you're well. I'm doing all right. You know, life is a series of ups and downs, and it's all about just maintaining a positive attitude in the face of fire and growing and showing. You know what I mean? Aaron, welcome on in, man. So great to see you. We got Gory Tiger hanging out with Evan and Gory Tiger. Eli Cortez, the aforementioned Eli Cortez. Speak and ye shall appear. Eli, so great to see you, man. One of our great channel members, a pillar of not just the horror community here on YouTube, but physical media. Eli is such an awesome guy and a good friend. I don't DM with many people, but Eli gets through. Eli gets through. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm just because I want to get to the task at hand. Let's see here. There we go. I enjoyed End of Oak Street. All right. It was definitely dumb fun. Yeah, like I said, shut your brain off, then shut off the backup. Don't think about the script and the fact that it doesn't make any sense. Don't think about any of that. Don't think about how they try to make you think that the dad is not a good guy when it's actually the mom that is like, she is a terrible wife and a terrible mother. Like, Anne Hathaway does a great job playing the character, but oh my gosh, that is one of like the worst women we've seen in a movie in a really long time. Like seriously, one of the worst. It's absolutely shocking, especially by the time you get to the end of the movie, you're like, this bitch? What's happening, Dot? Welcome on in. 3:15 a.m. I'm going to be listening while I try to get back to sleep. Well, I hope that my smooth, silky smooth voice of Davey Deathray can help you get back to sleep, Dot. How about that? We got Derek, another one of our great channel members. Derek, thank you so much for joining us. Eli sharing Lito's channel. Love to see it. Love to see it. Tia Nina, you're a pop punk princess. Tia, have we never really talked about that? Like, so, but everyone, some people, pop punk, you know, means, even punk means different things to different people, right? It's like saying metal. That's why there's an infinite amount of subgenres in metal. It's almost like you start a metal band. You could technically just make your own genre. In fact, I know these folks in a band called Order of the Gash from Portland. Such a great band, beautiful people as well. And they called themselves, did they call themselves this, or did I give them this moniker? Flesh-eating robot metal is what I called it. You know, something like that. Maybe they called it that. Now I'm having Mandela effect. What's happening, G? Welcome on in, dropping a $5 Canadian super chat. Sean, I'm doing very well. Sean, I saw your comment on the stream the other day. I think it's a great idea to do the mental health check-ins. What do you guys think? Are you guys down for doing a regular? I don't know if we need one a month. If you think we need one a month, we can do that. That can be part of our chill Sunday kind of thing, you know, once a month is doing that check. You know, something like that. And I mean, of course, there's like any time you're dealing with something is the time to do that check and to reach out to somebody. And if that means reaching out during a stream, then by all means do so. But we could just sort of have a regular kind of thing. You know, we could do it once a month. We could do it once every other month, whatever you guys think. It's not like I'm a licensed therapist, but just a time where we know like, hey, this is the place where you can come if you really got to share something. Or maybe you've been shy to share it in other times because you want to wait for the right time. I mean, it's all time is the right time. If you're suffering alone, don't do it. But we could have a space here for that. I think that would be cool. So thank you for seconding the motion there, Sean. I appreciate it. We got Joe from Media Poop Shoot hanging out. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Media Poop Shoot, you got to get on over there and support our buddy Joe. You not only support him because YouTube's changing its monetization rules here in January, but guys, Joe's shit is really good. Like it doesn't matter the fact that we meet up and we go to movies and stuff and we're buds in real life. I would still be nice about his channel. I'd still tell you, I'd still say all those things of like, yeah, go check it out. But I might just skate by after that. But seriously, guys, I've been watching Joe. We met in December at Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I've been watching his channel since then. He's found his voice so much better since then. It's gotten, you know, I mean, I see the improvement and I see so much confidence. In fact, Joe, this is me sharing a little something with you here, bud. It's so wild to me because, I mean, Joe is super personable and awesome. Like, we have a great time hanging out in person. It's really cool, guys, watching him on a video because there's a side of him in the video that I don't really see. Like, it's not like I don't see it in person, but it's really like it's really cool to be able to watch like my friend on his channel and be like, oh, I'm getting a performance here. Like, this is really cool. So for me, like, I'm always like proud of and happy for people as they find that creative voice or whatever they're doing creatively or whatever their passion is, and maybe it's just my perception, but if I can perceive that they're getting more comfortable or getting better at it, like, oh my God, I love that. I love it so much. And I'm seeing it over on Joe's channel. So if you haven't subbed, go on over there. He does a lot more reviews than I do. If you want reviews, that's the place to go to. So check him out. It's my commercial for Joe. Next time I see Joe in person, he's going to be like, dude, you got to stop talking about me. Oh, sorry, Aaron. I didn't know I was bringing. Guys, I don't know what's going on in the chat, if there's something going on, but yeah, I mean, like, whatever annoyances might be occurring in the chat for anyone, like, it's just not worth getting worked up over. We all have different personalities and different ways of communicating. So yeah, Aaron, I would say if you like replacements meets like East Coast, like Brooklyn punk rock, I know that maybe some of your tastes are a little more, I think you're a bit more hardcore than me. I don't think that's a bad thing to say. But I know I'm sure we've got some overlap in our sensibilities as well, but man, New Junk City is really fun. There's just something really, what's the word it's just really honest. Seriously, the lyrics, there's a song called High Contrast, and the lyrics, man, they hit me so hard. Especially when I was going through my divorce, but just applicable no matter what. And especially based, with what we were talking about with mental health, a lot of the lyrics from New Junk City are very uplifting in that sense because they shine a light on it and talk about, how you got to get rid of that stuff in your life. So it's really sweet stuff. No friggin' way. The VMAs, man, the last time I watched the VMAs was probably in the 90s. What's happening, Ron? One of our great channel members. They're on the brutal. Hope you're doing well, Ron. Hope you are doing very well. Did I miss Nate? No, there we go. Nathan, one of our great channel members. What's up? Dude, look at that beard. Holy shit. I could never compete, Nathan. Nathan's look there is like, that is like Rick Rubin intimidating there. I love it. I love it, Nathan. Welcome on in, man. Iris, one of our great channel members. Iris, it's so sweet to see you. What are we watching in Discord later, everyone? Let me know. Oh God, I don't think so. My buddy Braden Timmons, director of The Last Nightmare Part 1 and 2 and the Haddonfield Nightmare, director of Sally, writer and director of Sally, writes everything, right? He's usually really positive about a lot of stuff. I would say, like, a very glass half full kind of guy when it comes to movies. And even he was like, man, I saw his review of Insidious where it's like, that ain't it. And that's about as mean as I've probably ever seen Braden about a movie. So I'm like, man, if Braden's not positive about it, I don't know if I can watch it. I don't think I'm caught up on the Insidious movies. I like the first two. I think that's about it. Hey there, hi there, oh there. Right. Let's see what else. Izzy, welcome on in, man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Daniel, hope you are doing very well also, my guy. Shannon, my Star Wars hubby, is in Oak Street. I mean, I love Ewan McGregor. He's really good. He struggles with his American accent, I'll be honest. But like, other than that, like, I think his acting is really good in it. I think his American accent is a little too staccato and very enunciated. Like, it's a bit too much like that. But yeah, I mean, I love Ewan McGregor as well. I dig him. Antonis, welcome on in. Hope you're doing very well. The other night you asked me what my new horror channel is and mentioned YouTube doesn't allow links. Like an idiot, I tried posting mine anyway. The name is under Nathan Thornwood. Okay. Eli. I'm sure Eli's already on it. He's probably already posted it in here somewhere. Let's see. Let's Eddie Munson this thing. Thank you so much, Paula. Look at you. It's amazing. You are incredible. It is, guys. Joe's channel, like, I keep on telling him, I'm like, dude, you are going to pop at some point because it's different and it's really good. It is really good. He also has an awesome background. Like the whole thing is super pro. It looks way nicer than what I got going on here, and really good edits too. Happy hump day, right back at you, Jiggy. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Ooh, roll with the changes. Bam. See, you didn't even have to put "keep on rolling." I just did it for you. Yeah, checks in the mail, right? No, Joe, I truly mean it, and it feels good to say that and say it with all honesty here in front of everyone, in front of God and the whole world. But it really is true, man. It really is true. I don't blow smoke just to blow smoke. Just a positive outlet. Oh yeah, for sure. No, I think she's been really sweet about it. Yeah. I mean, obviously she's not going to say anything bad about the franchise if she's jumping into it, right? But it is cool. You know, she is what? She's probably about 10 years older than me. How old is Linda Cardellini? Mid-50s, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, she was born in 75. She's only 7 years older than me. Okay, so yeah, she grew up in that same, like, you know, she grew up with it as part of the pop culture zeitgeist. So it's got to be really cool for her, honestly. And I think, like, even if this isn't something that's occurring to her at this point, the idea that she is, at some point, don't get me wrong, Betsy Palmer, like, is Pamela, but this is going to be the Pamela that we actually get to, like, really know and relate with and resonate with on a deeper level. So for some people, now the show's got to be good for this to work, but if the show resonates and the show works, there are going to be people that are going to be like, this is the Pamela Voorhees, right? So, and I think that's fair. And then for some people, this is going to be the Pamela they grow up with. I think it's like, so even for her right now, maybe she doesn't realize it, but this is cementing her, I mean, her legacy as a performer in such a big way that, you know, we might not even realize at the moment. Well, since he's getting better, I guess I'll give him a sub. Great job, Joe. Well, the idea is we'd all like to get, like, I hope I get better I hope when, like, you know, the people that have found me years ago can tell a difference between then and now, or maybe somebody that finds me now goes back and watches an older video and they're like, oh wow, cool, like it's kind of gotten a little more comfortable and come along. Like, I mean, you know, we all hope that, right? Holy cow, was the goal hit already? You guys are friggin' incredible. I haven't even gotten in the news yet. All right, unlocked a stream for this weekend. We love you too, Paula. We love you too. Thank you for sharing that, Eli. Okay, guys, let's get to brass tacks here. Now, if I do, yeah, exactly. It's so funny because John was like, I can't stand REM, because I was like, Athens, you know, because they're from Atlanta, and I was like, Athens created that, or at least to me, like, I don't, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron. I always feel like jangle rock is sort of associated with Athens, not just because of REM, but like Pylon. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to a band called Pylon, but if you haven't, oh my God, they're like really good jangle rock. And Pylon's maybe like mid to late 80s, and a band that never really, I don't think they popped like nationally, but when I heard them working at the record store in Juneau, I was like, oh man, this is really good. Like, I like it more. Like REM, only the old stuff really works for me. But yeah, I think you would dig them, man. I'll post a link, or I'll share a link or something with you on Facebook, something like that. What's happening, Jeff? Welcome on in, one of our great channel members. You are so welcome to join the fun whenever you want, brother. Yeah, Daniel, we got you, man. We got you. Insidious is pure genre fun. They can't hold me truly captivated. Yeah, the first two I liked, but yeah. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just commenting on his American accent. Let's see here. Yeah. It's too bad, but, you know, it's also a PG-13 and, you know, all that stuff. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the news. If I missed a message that's really, it is pretty weird. But, I mean, some of it is just so there are some sensibilities there where you're like, oh, damn. Yeah. Even, I don't know if they're from Athens, too. Jesus and the Mary Chain, are they from Athens? Or are they from somewhere totally different? Either way, they're great jangle pop as well. I love a good jangle pop band. I mean, even the Smiths I think of as kind of jangly as well. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get into some horror news. And in typical Davey Deathray fashion, I have not created my proper banner, so you're gonna have to hear the clickety click of it all. Okay, guys, we've got some news on like some projects, and then we've got some, smaller stories to mix in here. So we're just gonna have some fun with it, okay? We're gonna talk about It Welcome to Derry to kick things off here. So let me go on over here and then go on over there. Oh my God, I'm in a circle. Ah, ah. I don't know why. Just let me. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm very excited for this. You know that I'm not, in general, that it isn't something that got its hooks in me. Like I enjoy the Tim Curry version. When I was a kid, it really freaked me out. The Andy Muschietti films, I like the first one. Second one kind of bored me to tears. Like pretty much like a really useless and unnecessarily long film, in my opinion. Even though it's completing the story, it felt like it was filled with a whole bunch of bullshit. And it felt like I was watching the same scene over and over and over again, just with different characters. It felt very like, I don't know, like those movies. It didn't need to be two movies. Like based on how they handled the second movie and the fact it was 2.5 hours long, I don't think they really needed that one. But It Welcome to Derry kind of knocked my fucking socks off. There were a couple episodes, I think it was like episode 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, where I felt a little dip and I was starting to get concerned, but they got right back to it. I thought it was just a gorgeous looking show. The production value and everything like that, the costume work, the acting, oh my God, like so much good in It Welcome to Derry. The best thing I've ever seen in the It franchise ever. And what's really cool is Brad Caleb Kane, who's the showrunner on Crystal Lake, was the co-showrunner on Welcome to Derry. And here we go, guys, officially renewed for that 1935 set second season at HBO. That is amazing news. Yes, they are peeling the time back, or turning the clock back, as it were. So let's read a little bit about this one. This one comes over to us by way of John Squires at Bloody Disgusting. John, again, let's get the website back to where it was, bro. Like whatever it was, tell those people that did this not to cash the check. And here we go, guys. Pennywise will return to HBO in another season of the hit horror series It Welcome to Derry, with HBO announcing today that the show has officially been renewed for season 2. The renewal comes as no surprise given the success of the first season, but we had nevertheless been waiting for the official announcement from HBO, and the wait is thankfully now over. All right, and this one's going back to 1935 because it, of course, wakes up and feeds every 27 years, so the series is tracking those cycles throughout time. The show's first season took place in 1962, while the first It from 2017 was set in 1989, and Muschietti's It Chapter 2 jumped forward 27 years to 2016. So each cycle begins and ends with a horrific act, while Pennywise feasts on children throughout. And Deadline detailed earlier this afternoon, which was actually, I believe, yesterday afternoon or the day before, quote, set in 1935 amidst the Great Depression, season 2 revolves around the bloody massacre of the Bradley Gang, a group of bank robbers who stop in Derry to buy ammo and end up facing unimaginable horror. And I think we saw a little, I don't know, relic of that in the first season. I think don't they dig up one of those, it's like an old timey like Model T kind of looking gangster car. I'm pretty sure that was towards the end of last season. And I think they're like taking it out of like a tar pit or something like that. So a little, Easter egg for something that we're going to see eventually in this second season. And Brad Caleb Kane is coming back to be the showrunner. Bill Skarsgård is expected to return as well. And it looks like Brad might be fully running the show. He co-show ran the first season. I'm not sure exactly what the circumstances were around that. I don't think that's normal for there to be two showrunners, but it might have been just to split the episodes up. So one guy could focus on these 4, the other guy could focus on the other 4. I'm just speculating. I don't really know that for sure. I would love to have a chat with Brad Caleb Kane. If anyone knows him, I'd love to. I mean, the guy was Aladdin's singing voice in the Disney film. So it's incredible that the guy that voiced the singing for Aladdin is now producing. And just in case you don't know what a showrunner does or what their job is, they're a high-level executive, and they make the decisions on what kind of like vibe, sensibilities, artistic direction, a lot of the creative decisions, really just the whole like direction of the show. So of course the writers have their part in all that, but showrunners are so integral. Like when somebody's a good showrunner, you're gonna get a damn good show. And Brad's doing great. It makes me so excited for Crystal Lake. So anyways, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, Sarah Aubrey from HBO said, quote, we are excited to return to the chilling world of Derry and to further expand on Andy and Barbara Muschietti's horrifically iconic adaptation. Together with Brad Caleb Kane, they will break new ground in season 2, deepening the terror, the mystery, and the unforgettable Pennywise lore that fans love to devour. And the cool thing is we're getting lore that's like, it is deepening deepening the terror, sure, but I really think they're getting into the lore that is like, only the nerdiest of the nerds know, right? Certainly not me. And the Muschiettis said in a statement here, continuing to explore and expand on the amazing world Stephen King created is an absolute privilege. The support of our partners at HBO and Warner Brothers Television is priceless. Boy, do we love our jobs. And yeah, I really love that. There's something so personable and like normal about them just being like, boy, do we love our jobs, like acknowledging the privilege of being able to do this work. Yes, it's work. Yes, they certainly earned the right to do this, right? It doesn't sound to me like anything was just handed to somebody that was incapable or that didn't merit their, that they didn't merit getting that job. But it is really cool when people take a step back when they're in those positions and realize, this is pretty awesome that we get to do this. It is a really special thing. So yeah, there we go, guys. A little shot of Bill Skarsgård. Just how, Americans don't use this word very much, but like how cheeky is that look? That is like the cheekiest look ever. There's something just so sassy about it, God, I really love the way they portrayed Pennywise and everything. I do think Welcome to Derry, no joke, and maybe this is a hot take, I don't know. I think it's easily the best visual storytelling we've seen from the It intellectual property. I'm not sure if there's anything else. No, that looks like it's it. So yeah, guys, I kind of told you how I feel about it. I'm super pumped for this second season. Like, I think there's potential for it to be better. And, like I said before, this also makes me more excited for Crystal Lake because Brad Caleb Kane is really damn good at his job. You have no idea the relief for a curmudgeon like me, somebody that usually looks at something with that, like, I don't know about you kind of eye, to be able to see the work that he puts in and to be able to be like, yeah, this thing's in good hands. Like, you can trust Brad. If you see Brad Caleb Kane's name on something, you can trust it. And yeah, I just want to know what you guys think. Are you guys pumped? Or some of you, did the diehard It fans love Welcome to Derry? I don't think they would hate it, but do you love it? Or do you sort of like, it kind of muddies the waters, and now like people don't really know what's like from the book or not because it sounds like some stuff is a little made up or changed. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down there. I just want to keep the conversation going and keep the love going for this franchise that I think is oddly enough, I might be a weirdo for saying it, but I think it's like actually finding its legs, at least as far as like being satisfying for me as an audience member. It's finding its legs. Very successful franchise. I think It Chapter 2 is like one of the most successful horror movies of all time, financially speaking. So, I'm just speaking about how it resonates with me as a fan. But let me know whatever you got in the live chat. If you're here, if you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let's have it out. All right, let me see what you guys are saying over here. Am I too cheery? Am I too zippy? I don't know. I've had like 2 sips of my C4, and I feel like I'm already zippy. Got to rock it up my ass, as they say. Thank you for sharing that, Eli. I appreciate it. I knew I could count on you. He's just so damn dependable. As I was saying it, Aaron, I was like, oh, I think they might be Brits. Rick B. Jaman. What's happening, Rick? Welcome on in with a $5 super chat. I love this. I love that when Rick came in the first time just to like hang out, I started doing the Rick B. Jaman thing. And then Rick's probably like, I've got my own song when I jump on over here. I mean, how many, when I jump into somebody's chat, I don't have my own song. Thank you for joining us, Rick. Thank you for the super chat, man. Really do appreciate you. Davey Jaman, Shax SCB. What's happening, Shax? With a sweet little Superman, or is it Superboy? Oh, is it Superman? He's wearing his glasses. Why is he doing that? Yeah, we love Shax. We recognize Shax from Discord, from Iris, for you and Tia. Or I guess Tia invited me over there, and that's how I, got to meet all of you guys. What's happening, Adrian? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Well, I mean, I am too. You can definitely be the one if you want to. I just feel like I want to, when it comes to it, Welcome to Derry, maybe I am a little like overly vocal, but I think for me it is because I'm coming in as someone that's like, hey, I wasn't too crazy about this property before, but this show has lit that fire for me. So I think that's something that's like kind of notable, right? Or at least it would, like, if somebody else were saying something like, oh, I never liked Evil Dead until I saw this entry, or until I saw the Ash versus Evil Dead show. If I hadn't seen the show, I'd be like, fuck, I got to check that out if it brought someone in that wasn't a fan. Let's see what else we got here. It would be nice if Pennywise would let the kids have at least one nice, quiet friendship moment. Well, for 27 or 26 years, everything's fine, Paula. So, yeah. And you could just leave Derry. Because the limited, they explain, I don't want to spoil it, Paula. You should watch the first season. They explain why the entity can't leave Derry, but the people can leave. I mean, I was too, because clowns are scary. And honestly, guys, I think looks-wise, I do think the Tim Curry version is scarier. Honestly, just looks-wise. The reason why I love It Welcome to Derry more than the other versions of the IP is really the storytelling, the richness of the characters, the performances. It really did look like 1962. It was incredible. I mean, I wasn't around in 1962. I'm just saying that they really sort of captured that feel and that vibe. And it'll be real, dude, 1935. It's going to be awesome. Oh my God. Can we please get an episode that's like all black and white? Wouldn't that be so cool to have an episode that, or like, I think they had a black and white section in the first season on one of the episodes. It would be so cool to get a full black and white episode, other than the blood. Ooh, other than the blood, or the yellow and the red. Ooh, yeah. I wonder how often or how sharply morale drops among stars once they realize they're shooting. What they're shooting may not be what it was hyped up to be. It must be hella difficult to stay in character. Oh, with part 2. Yeah, no, it was... I mean, they got really good performers in that movie. It's not the performer's fault. There's so many good performances in that movie. It wasn't that. It really was just, I felt like I was watching a hamster in a wheel. And I'm like, Pennywise wasn't scary. Like, how many times do I need to see Pennywise running towards the camera and like, stupid. Like, you can't do that all the time. Like that one still image right next to me. Wait, there. I'll figure it out. I could never be a weatherman, but that still image right there is scarier than him shaky cam running at the screen. It's just, I don't know. It is, so that's interesting because like I'm a huge Simpsons fan, and I've listened to like a lot of the commentaries. I guess when David Merkin was show running, it was just him. But yeah, Al Jean and Mike Reese did it together. Bill Oakley and Josh Weinstein did it together. That's a good point, Shax. Thanks for bringing that up, man. Thank you. I wonder if they figured, since it's 8 episodes, and perhaps it could mean that the other showrunner just has another job and wasn't available. And if so, good for them. Welcome on in, Jamie. I hope you're doing very well, miss. So great to see you. Our Death Squad, our Mama mod, and our OG Death Squad mod there, Jamie Hart. Jamie, have you noticed, have I gotten more comfortable or any better at doing this than when you first started watching? Or do you not notice as much because you've been watching so long and just like one stage of Davey blurs into another? I'm very curious to know. Let's see. Here we go. I always have my own song in my head. Here comes Davey. Take care, Wicked Pinto. Have a good one, man. All right. Terror on Tubi out now. I don't know what that is, Prince. I don't know what that is. I loved Welcome to Derry, and I'm looking forward to the new season. Upset there's a 2-year break. Yeah, it is unfortunate with these shows that they have those breaks. Sometimes, guys, it's, scheduling. Bill Skarsgård is a pretty in-demand kind of name. But also there's all that stuff going on with Warner Brothers. I think that's why we had a delay in them announcing it. I think it was they didn't know, we don't know what's going on with the Warner Brothers sale. That's just a big old thing right now. What's happening, Billy? Welcome on in. I will forever think of Brad from Good Real Hunting when I think of Pennywise. Come on, Gregory. We've got to go to the circus. Oh my gosh, the boys from Good Real. Love them. Love them. They, when I first started the channel, they gave me the, I don't know how to say it. I love their interaction with the crowd. And I thought to myself, I need to do that. Like that engagement with the audience, that was something that they inspired and something that I really took from them is that's the way to be. If you know, to be a part of the community and really share that space. So I'll always be grateful for that from those guys. Yeah, if you're not subbed or you haven't checked out Good Real Hunting, it wouldn't hurt you to go and give them a gander. Thanks, Jamie. So Jamie's basically saying, no, you still suck. I'm joking. I'm joking. You have not had one smidge of growth, sir. Not one. There you go. Jamie found this channel because of Good Real Hunting. That's amazing. Did they recommend it, or was I just like in the chatting? I can't even remember. That's really cool, Jamie. That's awesome. All right, guys, let's move on over to, we're gonna do a little hop, okay? I think what I like to do is do the things that in my head are kind of the bigger stories, but like mix in some things that are just, not saying that they're lesser stories, but they're just not like the usual kind of thing we cover here. So guys, in the you know, spirit of all of that, unfortunately, Tom Savini's house recently caught fire. I'm sure some of you saw it on social media. It doesn't look like it was like a total loss of the property inside of the home, but like any level of house fire can, oh man, it can just cause so much damage to where sometimes people just have to rebuild the whole thing, or it can be really devastating even when you might think like, oh no, that wasn't so bad, but man, the internal damage and the smoke and everything, and it's just really devastating. I believe Tom is still living in the Pittsburgh area. I'll just read the article, because I know there is a crowdfunding, and we don't really need to like dwell on that. I just wanted to share this because we've appreciated Tom's work for so long. I know some people have had really good experiences talking to him at conventions, and other people not so much, and all that kind of stuff, and some of us like make our jokes and all that stuff, but personally, like, I've always appreciated Tom's work so much. I mean, it's not just Friday the 13th and The Prowler and Friday the 13th and Final Chapter, and I mean, there's so many great, Dawn of the Dead. I mean, fuck, Day of the Dead that's my favorite right there. And it really is that Romero connection to me that I'm sort of like, Tom's protected. Like, I love Romero so much. He's arguably my favorite director of all time, and his movies are so important to me. Like, so important in me realizing, like, along with Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, like, me realizing what could be possible in film. And I was a horror fan before that, but seeing those like Night of the Living Dead and the Evil Dead, it really like recalibrated the way I thought about what was possible in film. And so then going and watching Dawn of the Dead and watching Day of the Dead, and then learning about all the other movies I had already seen that Savini had done work for, it's just, I can't help but feel for the guy. He's had a great career. He's probably got a decent amount of zeros in the bank account, but that's kind of irrelevant because he's lost a lot. And he also, he gives back a lot. He's got, I believe he's got his own effects school or some sort of program and all that kind of stuff. So, just thinking about the human here and thinking about the tragedy they're going through, I just wanted to share this with everyone. So here we go. This one comes from Luis HC over at Bloody Disgusting, and the article reads, horror fans around the world were hit with an unwelcome scare last Friday when it was reported that horror legend Tom Savini was involved in an electrical fire that ravaged his home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thankfully, Savini and his wife escaped unharmed, though the same can't be said for the couple's beloved cats, Max and Bruce. God damn, that is rough. I had seen a post about the fire, but you guys know I kind of like to experience this fresh with you guys and not come in like overly prepared. That is so incredibly sad. I lost my cats just in a divorce, and it's been really, really difficult. As far as I know, they're still around, but it having them taken away, in a way that I don't feel was very just or whatever is pretty heartbreaking. So I really feel for him on that, and that's got to be a frightening and tragic way to go. The article continues. The house had been in Savini's family for nearly a century now, with the multi-talented actor, director, and effects artist having lived there as a child before using it as headquarters for his effects work and extensive horror collection, which includes irreplaceable props and artifacts from several eras of film history. That's why the fire wasn't just a huge blow for Savini himself, but for the horror community as a whole. There is a silver lining to the situation, however, as effects artist Jason Baker has started a GoFundMe campaign meant to help the 80-year-old Savini and his family get through this troubling time without breaking the bank with temporary housing, cleanup costs, and the replacement of personal belongings. And yes, insurance can help with all that stuff, but it is a process to get all that going. So it is cool that people are in the community are looking out for him. The fire also destroyed many priceless pieces of Tom's life and history, including family heirlooms brought over from Italy and iconic props from Tom's illustrious career. Baker writes, quote, "The damage was severe. Thankfully, Tom and his wife were not injured, but their two beloved cats, Max and Bruce, were tragically killed. This was not just a house. It has been Tom's home base for 80 years, and it has been in Tom's family for almost a century." I mean, that's incredible. For Tom, this loss is deeply personal and far beyond the damage to the building itself. This is a traumatic situation for anyone to endure at any age. It has been especially difficult for Tom being a senior citizen, 80 years old. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much like there's the loss of the animal pals, of course, and really I think it is the fact that it's the home that he grew up in. You know, it is his life and it's everything he's known. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. There's let's see here. There's got to be, the campaign is currently a fifth of the way through its $50,000 goal and can be accessed through this link. So let me show that. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. They've raised $65,780 so far. So yeah, guys, if you want, I mean, I'll just throw it in the chat just so it's there. I'm sitting here talking about it. It would be stupid to not throw it in the chat. Not that I'm sitting here asking you guys to contribute, but just so it's out there. They've reached their first goal, and almost 1,000 people have donated. And the goal has been recalibrated for $90,000. So yeah, I mean, if you're in the spot where you're like, this hits close to home and you want to throw a little something, please, of course, feel free. But it's really awesome to see that there's this level of support already, and it looks like Tom and his wife are going to be taken care of, and just sending the best, all the love, all the prayers, and sympathies. I can only imagine it's so much to deal with, and it's true. When you're 80 years old and you've worked so hard and had such a successful, amazing, beautiful career and worked with so many different people, this is probably just the last thing you see coming at that point in your life. So, heartfelt condolences to the family. Especially on, that, I don't know if the house can be salvaged or anything like that, but losing the kittens, losing the cats, and losing pieces of horror history that probably, were, what's the right term? Priceless, invaluable, it's just can't be replaced, can't be bought or sold kind of stuff. So just wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, I mean, it's just something we gotta, these little touchstone stories that we pop into every now and then that really aren't about the creative side of everything, but they're about the person side of things. So just in case you guys didn't know, there's something we can do to offer some relief for Tom's family, and at the very least, we can send them all our best. I'm going to see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Feel free to jump into the comments. Anything you got about Tom Savini. Please, if you're going to make any Vietnam jokes, make sure you make them about him and not about anyone else. Cause I think that's fair game in the community. I think I don't like to make them personally, but I will acknowledge that that is a thing. But really, Tom, thinking about you, the work that Tom's put out there for us as horror fans is, talk about priceless. I mean, that's the key right there. And the countless people he's inspired and coached along. I mean, Greg Nicotero and those guys, they came up under Tom. Nicotero specifically. I'm not sure about Berger oh gosh, why am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting KNB, Nicotero Burger? Why am I forgetting Lito? If you're in the chat, let me. Who's the K and why am I forgetting them? I feel terrible. But all right, guys, I'm gonna jump on over and hang out with y'all. Let's see what you guys are saying about this. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, there we go. That's great. There we go. Had Brett on, and Jamie was like, "Who the hell is this Davey Deathray guys?" Or guy. I do love cats too. Thank you guys. You guys are too sweet. Yes, you guys are too sweet. Yeah, but Ryan, I mean, it's like we don't know. First off, we don't know. You know, you can sit there and be like, "Oh, the guy's got to be filthy rich." Like, you know, we can assume that. We don't really know. I don't have a look at his balance sheets or anything like that. So yeah. And over $20 to take a photo. Okay. You get a signature with the photo? Do you get a signature too? If so, then totally worth 20. Kane Hodder charged way more than that and wasn't nice to me. He was like kind of a dick to me and charged way like 4 times that amount. He is old. He is old. It's true. He does look really good for 80. He got into this whole workout thing the last 10 years. Yeah. Yeah, he was posting pictures a few years ago where I was like, damn, dude, you're like, for that age, looking cut for that age. And, you know, this is, again, you know, Ryan, just a reminder, like this is somebody within the community that's a effects artist that started this for him. It's not, he's not starting it as a poor me kind of thing. And again, I'm not asking or telling you guys that you should donate, but I think if I'm going to sit here and talk about it, if I don't share the link, I'm kind of being a turd. Thank you so, God. Yeah. Robert Kurtzman. I tell you, Lito, the brain fart or the brain fog when you go live. I once saw him giving a tour of his memorabilia on YouTube, and I kept thinking it would really suck for him to lose all that stuff. He should really consider building a well, and that is something to think about. You know, as we, you know, when you see that somebody has amassed a personal collection that's in their home, there is a part that's like, if you have the means, you could have like, you know, that could be in a safer location where people could still view it. Yeah, like a museum or just something. Yeah, because an electrical fire, that's really scary. A fire like in your walls. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know exactly. I don't think he's worked on really huge things. And I think, you know, I don't know how the royalties go. You know, who knows if the effects people ever get points? You know, maybe at some point he did with George. And also, you know, he directed stuff. So he's probably, you know, whenever they do a new Night of the Living Dead, 1990, you know, he probably gets something for that. But yeah, it's exactly. This is a good point, Shax. We can't assume that just because somebody had a good career that they're like, you know, that it's their money bags. And then you also think about like, well, what if they're providing a really comfortable, awesome life for their family with that money, and instead of sitting there and like saving every little penny like a miser, like maybe they're trying to help make their kids' lives better or what? We just don't know. We just don't know. And no one ever expects that at 80 years old, their family home is going to catch fire. Yeah, it does suck. Yeah, you know, whatever. If they charge too much, it's just, you know, you don't get the picture, right? Yeah, it really happens when I'm live. I think it's the headphones. I think it's I think it's the headphones. Because it doesn't have, like, Lito, we'll hang out in person or whatever. When we talk on the phone, it's probably a little bit of a, maybe I'm not as brain foggy there. And I really haven't been like partaking in cannabis. Although after the show, I did smoke a little bit of a joint with the guys from New Junk City. Was I supposed to say no? Was I supposed to say no? I'm realizing I still have this banner up there. How could I say no? Yeah, I've never met Tom. I've heard from some people he's not very friendly. I've heard from others that he really is. And so that's even why, like, with my whole Kane thing, I'm like, you know, it could have just been a bad day, or he was just in a bad, you know, I just try not to take it personally. Like, you know, Kane Hodder doesn't care who it's definitely not personal, right? Yeah, exactly. I think, and the important thing is it was started by somebody outside of the family, right? Made it home without any run-ins with state troopers. That's always a win out here. Well, Jamie, I did, maybe I opened up that can of worms. Yeah. Tom did work on The Burning. He did work on The Burning. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't list off his whole IMDb right now, but I know he acted in Children of the Living Dead. If anyone hasn't seen that, exactly this, Jamie. And again, guys, we don't know. It's crazy. Like, to assume that somebody has something just because of the career they've had, that is not guaranteed. There are NFL players that had whose names I know, like from when they were playing, and they're out there selling cars now. You know? No peer pressure. No, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I want to be able to say that I smoked a joint with these guys. That's like, see, I was like, I would have anyway. I mean, I walked up and they were partaking. I didn't ask. They were like, hey, do you want to get in on this? I said, yes. And then I thought about, maybe I could take that as another memento. But then I didn't want my record to smell like skunk forever, I think it's going to be 2028 or 2027, Antonis. Yeah, I think it'll be 2027. Oh yeah, still want his crotch gun from Dusk Till Dawn. That, what a performance in that movie. He really is good. I mean, it's a smaller role, but man, he's really charismatic in that. Yeah, so all love to Tom. Everything really, it is so unfortunate. And honestly, guys, like, I just found out about him losing his cats. Like, that is, I mean, the memorabilia really is a hit for just history's sake. But man, losing your pets, that's really tough. That is really tough. Hey, that's totally fair, Ryan. You don't have to send him anything. I mean, they're doing it's a really great thing that all these people are doing, and it looks like Tom's going to be taken care of. So that's the most important thing here. So, doesn't look like they need any of our help directly, but we could at least be sweet about it. Okay, guys, let's see. Let's talk some Evil fucking Dead. Did you guys know I like the Evil Dead? Did you know that about me? Hi guys, I'm Davey Deathray. Did you know that I grew up in Alaska and I like the Evil Dead and I like punk rock? Guys, this is Evil Dead is so important to me. It like really reshaped the way that I looked at movies forever. I know I just said that, but let me pop that. Oh, come on, you dink. There we go. Yeah, I'm calling StreamYard a dink. Well, we need to bring back dink. Or did it get pushed away because it means something that I don't know it means? I don't know. I always just thought it meant like, oh, you dummy. Anywho, Bruce Campbell, who's recently doing, press for Ernie and Emma, his brand new film that he wrote himself and produced with his wife. He's been, going around making the rounds, having the chats and talking about, his personal battle with cancer and everything like that, talking about Ernie and Emma. I watched a really good interview. Well, I don't know if I liked the interviewer that much, but he really didn't have much to say. It was kind of Bruce running the show. It's got to be kind of tough to interview Bruce Campbell because he can like conduct the interview himself. He doesn't even really need somebody to ask him questions. But it was really cool hearing Bruce like just talk very openly about like, hey, I don't want to come back to be Ash because I watch these movies where the old people come back and I feel like kind of bad for him and it doesn't really jive. And, saying like, he's just so happy to be doing something that's for a totally different audience and trying to connect with, people that are in his age group and really put out something like a bit more like meaningful and like touching, as far as Ernie and Emma goes, which I think is really cool. Like, I love that. But he's also talked about the Evil Dead franchise. Recently this summer, we got Evil Dead Burn. Mixed, divisive. I mean, I guess those words are the proper words. There are some people that really enjoy the movie, and I see it all over Twitter and everything like that. And not from all of them, but from a good chunk of them, I get the feeling like, oh, these are the people that just like every new horror movie that came out is like all-time banger. Just like they want to be the first person to say that it's the best thing or what, you know what I mean? I just get that kind of feel from it. Because even as a huge Evil Dead fan trying to be as nice to Burn as I can be, I am like, that is unreasonable what these people are saying. Like, that is such unreasonable praise. And so I think we're at a point in the Evil Dead where it's sort of like a lot of us are ready for the pendulum to swing back on a couple of the things in the franchise. And that's kind of the cool thing about The Evil Dead, is it should never really be or feel the same. The first three movies, there are all Evil Dead movies, but they all got their own kind of niche. They're all, tucked into their own little awesome corner. And I think we need to find that again in The Evil Dead. And it sounds like Bruce feels the same way. So let's check out this article from John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. The headline reads, Bruce Campbell wants to see more humor and color in future Evil Dead movies. That's another thing too. Let's see what Brucey's got to say about it. There have been 3 Evil Dead movies in the past 13 years, beginning with Fede Alvarez's remake in 2013. John, I've got to reach out to you on Twitter because that's incorrect. The Fede Alvarez movie is not a remake, John. Why do people keep on saying it's a remake? I know I get all up in arms about this, but guys, Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead from 2013 is a sequel. It is not a remake. Maybe it was marketed as a remake back in 2012, but it's a sequel. It's not a remake. I don't know why major publications can't get that right. John, invite me on. Invite me to write a piece. I'll explain to everybody in bullet point fashion why Fede Alvarez's film is not a remake and why it's annoying for people to continue to push something that just isn't true about that movie. Anyways, guys, the franchise then expanded with both Evil Dead Rise and Evil Dead Burn in more recent years. But those latest 3 movies in the franchise have been noticeably different from Sam Raimi's original trilogy, which leaned heavily into wacky horror comedy hijinks, particularly the case with both Raimi's Evil Dead 2 and the medieval 1990s sequel Army of Darkness. Well, and not only that, but Ash vs. Evil Dead after Evil Dead 2013. And then that isn't even the only noticeable different part, right? We all know what the other noticeably different part is, right? We all know. They've cut the dudes out. That's, come on. I mean, we've got no strong male lead in these movies, unfortunately. It's just terrible. We can't, just no one, and Ash is whatever. We'll get into what Bruce says, and then I'll go on my whole thing. I'm not saying that Ash is a great guy, but Ash is like a beacon. He's the anchor. So, anyways, many fans of the franchise have taken issue with the new approach, and franchise icon producer Bruce Campbell echoes those sentiments in a new chat with Men's Journal this week. Like many fans, Campbell wants to see humor make a return to the world of the Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell explains in his chat with Men's Journal, quote, "I'd like more humor back in. The 3 features have been mostly humorless, and I personally have a problem with that. There's no point for these to get too grim. You can be scary without being grim. A little more humor wouldn't kill you," Campbell continues, "and one hero that you can really root for. Ash is an idiot, but you want him to survive." Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And then let's look at this picture for a second. Just gaze on that. Did I switch it back? Oh God, guys, I thought I was talking about it and didn't switch it over. Campbell, who has stepped back and taken a less active role in the development of the Evil Dead movies, beginning with Evil Dead Burn, also wants the franchise to find its visual pop again. And I think this is something I didn't really think about. I mean, Burn does look very gray to me, and I think I talked about that. Just like the palette is a little washed out. Like all these Marvel movies are all washed out. Like there's not. Guy at the bar last night, they were showing the Fallout TV show on one of the screens just in the background, and I was like, man, everything on that show looks beige and gray. Like nothing pops. Everything looks so flat. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. If that says anything about the audience, then guys, we're in a lot of trouble. But anyways, speaking about the visual pop, Bruce Campbell says, quote, "Modern filmmakers love to color their movies like a David Fincher movie, like a hospital room, gray green, like a garage lighting. And so, okay, it's a choice. It's not mine. I think even a horror movie can look pretty. Why not throw them off? Make it all look pretty and wonderful, and then let them have it." And I think that's pretty awesome here. All that being said, Bruce Campbell does have high hopes for the next franchise installment, Evil Dead Wrath, currently set for theatrical release on April 7th, 2028. The 1970s set prequel is directed by Francis Galuppi, and Campbell is a fan of his work. Quote, "Wrath will be good because I saw that filmmaker's first movie, and it was really cool and really smart and really well thought out. That's half the battle. We'll see what happens going forward, but I have high hopes for the next one, Campbell adds. And then there's a, oh yeah, this is the interview that I watched. But you can also read the article if you'd like to just read it. But there's an interview there where Bruce just kind of goes, man. He looks like he's in great, not just great spirits, but like Bruce looks very like healthy considering everything that he's currently going through. So that's really refreshing to see. And man, the guy is a spitfire, like he always has been. Like I'm not noticing any change, and so I hope that he, you know, as they start making, well, I guess, is Evil Dead Wrath already in the can? I think it might already be in the can. Hopefully he played a bigger role in that one. Or whatever point in the creative process they're at, that he's able to play a little bit more of a part to bring it, you know, to bring that visual pop. And I would imagine Wrath is going to have some humor. And that's what I wanted to talk about, is a swing back to humor, a swing back to including men in a positive way in the franchise. It's been really rough, since Ash versus, or since, I mean, even in Evil Dead 2013, they're pretty rough. But those characters, those guys aren't the worst guys or anything like that. But I do think, I want to tell you guys this. I want to know what you think in the chat, of course. I want to know what you think about Evil Dead in the comment section down below. If you're, you know, watching after the fact, let me know how you felt about the last three movies compared to the first three movies. Maybe you think 2013 is a remake and you want to tell me I'm wrong. You can do that too. We can have it out. I can totally prove my point. I'm very, very confident in that one. But I think like what I want to see with Wrath is you go back to 1972 and they introduce in Burn, they introduce this concept or this group called the Circle of Wise Men. That one of the grandfathers in that story, who's since passed, one of the grandfathers was part of this Circle of Wise Men. And what's cool is like the term, the Circle of Wise Men, sounds so awesome, right? Like, oh my gosh, these amazing, like almost like clerical, like these priests of like demon fighting, and it just sounds so awesome. But how cool would it be if it really is just like 5 nerdy professors studying this thing? Maybe they accidentally, unwittingly release it. Or maybe it's just because, you know, the spirits are, they say in the first movie, I think, that they're always dormant. You know, they're never really dead. They're just sleeping, right? So maybe the spirits wake up and these are the only guys that actually believe in what's going on. They're the only ones buying it. They're the only ones that have like, they've actually already been doing the research, but they don't really know what they're doing, but they like go out and hunt the evil. And so you could have humor in them sort of being bumbling. And them sort of being nerdy, not built for it, not tough guys, just like smart guys that do the tough thing, you know? So there could be really funny, like blood splatter, like I'm not prepared for, like, you know, this whole, like, I'm not made for this shit, man, like that kind of thing. And the Deadites could still be serious and scary. You could have a really cool balance there. And then I think it would be really awesome if it were a prominently male cast for Evil Dead Wrath. I actually think it'd be really cool if the mom from Evil Dead Burn, because she talks about her father and there's clearly some hurt and pain in the family's history there. I think it'd be really cool if we're, you know, of course, like, you know, women should be in the movie. I'm just saying, like, the focus would be really cool if it was the Circle of Wise Men. But it would be cool to see the mom's character as a younger woman, or you know, whatever age she would have been in 72, you know, something like that. Because I actually thought of all the things that happened in Evil Dead Burn, that character, the mother, was the most like fleshed out character. That character had the biggest arc, really the only character with an arc, honestly, in Evil Dead Burn, and the character that you understand and know the best. So it would be cool if they brought it back to her grandfather. Maybe her, you know, her character is in there. But yeah, I agree with Bruce here. Visually, let's make it pop. Like, let's have something where the colors just shoot off the screen as if you're watching it in 3D, right? Let's bring that humor back. Let's find a nice little balance. And here's the great thing. It's like I was saying at the beginning of covering this article, Evil Dead is always, it should always be shifting. This idea, you know, if any part of you is saying like, I don't know, the whole like a bunch of dudes thing, is that the right thing? Well, whatever. The next movie could be the total opposite, and that would be fine too. I just think we need, the formula is old now. It was cool in 2013, and I think Rise does it pretty well. In fact, I love Rise a lot more after watching Burn, because Burn was a complete failure to me. But now we've reached the point where it's like, okay, it seems like we're just checking a stupid box now, and it seems like we're just trying to please people that just want to cheer on like the female lead in a horror movie instead of writing a good movie. And maybe I would feel different if Burn were a better movie, but Burn is not good, unfortunately. Like, it's pretty rough. So yeah, we need a course correction. I'm glad that Bruce is saying something, and I hope he gets a little more involved. And I think, you know, he's had a friendship with Sam Raimi since they were kids. So making Super 8 movies is like pre-teens or whenever it was that they started working together, right? And Sam's brother Ted, same thing. Bruce has known Ted and Sam for over like 50 years. So hopefully they listen to that counsel and they realize that, yeah, this is it would be cool for a little bit of a culture shift, you know, for the next film here in the Evil Dead. But anyways, I've been kind of rambling. I love this franchise so much, so I'm gonna ramble. But I want to know what you guys think in the live chat. You can call me crazy if you want to, whatever. We can hash it all out there. If you have anything to say and you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let me know down below. Let's talk some fucking Evil Dead, right? All right. Okay, guys, what do you got for me? What do you got? 55 comments. Who did I piss off? Let's see. We needs more above the mans in the Evil Deads. Yeah, certainly not like, dude, in this last one, fuck, so bad. Let's see here. If it were like 6 or 7 years ago, I could see making the mistake of calling it a remake, but I think we all know now that it's pretty crazy. And it's pretty crazy. John is like the main guy over there. I'm kind of like blown away that he is putting that on there. I love when Savini would show up on Letterman and show off his special effects. Such a champion for horror. That stuff's really cool, guys. If you've never seen that, go to YouTube and check those out. Yeah, make sure you check that out. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Nathan Thornwood. Holy cow, Nathan dropping a $20 super chat. Davey might be loaded, but I'm still happy to support him. I am so not, Nathan. I'm so not. I'm very appreciative of every bit of support you guys give me. This is a labor of love, and I may not get compensated the same as a lot of people do, but I put in a lot of hours. I put in a lot of hours because I love it, and because for some dumb reason it's important to me. I don't know how to define it, but yeah, there we go. Nathan, thank you so very much for the 20, man. I really do appreciate it. And no money bags over here. Every bit that you guys give and support goes right back into the channel, because I usually, guys, I stay up until 4, and lately anyways, I've been waking up at 9, maybe 10, but stay up till 4 almost every night, working on stuff for the channel. Yeah, no, I wish. It looks like there's some stuff going on in the chat. It's too much for me to try to dig through right now. Everybody just, regardless of what's going on, in not picking sides. Obviously, I've known Jamie for a really long time. She's been a mod on here forever. But just, I don't know what's going on. That, whatever we can do to take the temperature down, would be cool. So just mind the mods, right? Doesn't it say that in the thing? I think it says mind the mods. And I don't know exactly what's going on. Aaron, I don't see myself warming up to Burn. I watched it 3 times in the theater, and I think the Dolby was the best experience because it really highlighted the sound, and the sound design was really good. The musical score was really good as well. The best part of it. I would say same thing with End of Oak Street. The music was the best part. Michael Giacchino, man, what a writer for on End of Oak Street. I don't know. Ooh, who's the artist? It's an artist that did it, like an actual recording artist that I think did the soundtrack for Evil Dead Burn, which was really good score. But yeah, I don't see myself warming up to it because it's insulting. As a fan, it's like truly insulting, and it's really bad writing. I can't stand a bad script, and Evil Dead Burn is one of the worst. It really is bad. Have you seen it, Aaron? I don't want to say anything that would spoil it, but Deadites that don't look like Deadites that don't act with any urgency. They want this dagger, but they don't really mention it until we're like an hour into the movie or more. If they really wanted the dagger, then Deadite Jessica from the lake could have just possessed Will in the car crash. She could have just possessed him, turned him into a Deadite, gone down the road to the house and gotten the dagger. If it was really about the dagger, right? So that's really bad writing. From the very first 20 minutes of the movie, they fucked it up. And they break lore all over the place in Evil Dead Burn. It is insulting. I'm not, it's not important to me really, but it is insulting as a fan of good storytelling, honestly, not even just as a fan of Evil Dead. They've really moved it. And here's what's shitty is Evil Dead Burn could have had some really cool comedy. I think they could have make it work, or they could have made it work. There are moments where like I want to see like an Evil Dead 2, that silly like floating limb, like a limb that gets cut off that like too slowly floats across the room. I want to see that stuff, like somebody chopping something off and it's just this silly way of moving through the space. In the movie when Deadite Tia is laying there on the ground with hamburger face, and Duder like pushes Deadite Daddy pushes Joseph's face into it. I was like, well, if she's really a Deadite, she's not dead because they haven't dismembered the body. Smashing a Deadite's face is almost meaningless in the world of Evil Dead. I don't know if they watched the other movies, but if you smash a Deadite's face, they're just going to get up and keep on going for you. It doesn't matter. Smashing a face doesn't do anything. Cutting off the head really doesn't stop them either. It's bodily dismemberment. That's a fucking full operation. That's cutting off all the limbs and the head. And even in the first movie, the parts still like kind of twitch and stuff when Shelly's laying there. So yeah, it's super lore breaking. It hurts. It does hurt. Yeah, well, it's not really, anyone that watches the movie should be able to tell. That may be true, but here we are 13 years later and people are still like espousing this bullshit. The guy is good. Look, Bruce Campbell right there. Yes, he is. See, I want Michael Johnston from Obsession to play a young Ash in a movie. I would just adore that so much. Well, if you watch the movie and you see Bruce's car, or you see Ash's car there, that's one of the tip-offs, The book looking different, that's another tip-off. Let's see here. Hey, what's happening, Carrie? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing very, very well. There's our Death Squad mod and a channel member, Miss Carrie Craves Cinema. Holy cow, Manny's Manic Media became a YouTube member. Manny, I didn't know that it had expired, so you're still on the card for today. You're still on the card. Well, yeah, no, they shouldn't do that. I think it's good when Evil Dead, I like the idea of like Burn and Wrath being like, hey, we're going to have 2 movies in the next 3 years, pretty much 3 movies within 6 or 7 years, which I think is an okay pacing. Excuse me, I'm just burping uncontrollably. Somebody give me a super chat for burping uncontrollably. I think it was Nathan did the 20 there. It was for that. There you go, Nathan. Yeah, I think maybe you take a break after Wrath for a little bit, and maybe you do something really silly after that. I hope Wrath has humor, but maybe the next batch of movies we go really silly again, something like that. Gray washed. I don't know how to necessarily articulate it, but to say I feel like movie makers think the gray washed outlook or look is more serious. I think what it is it makes it easier to make up for lighting decisions that you don't want to make when you got the camera going. It's like they want to be able to light everything the same way. And then when they're in post, they have more control. So instead of making the stylistic choice while they're capturing the film, they just capture it kind of flat. And then they do things in post that suck the saturation. It's crazy. Like, watch a Marvel movie and just look at how desaturated everything is. It's kind of wild. Ash is hot. You're absolutely right. It's like they think that since it's somber and scary, it has to look somber, which is dumb. Somber things happen in colorful spaces. Exactly. Yeah. God forbid the Evil Dead look like it take place in the real world, like the first 3 movies do, like 2013 does, like Rise does. All of the other movies don't do that. Guys, honestly, like Sebastian Vanacek, he knows where to put the camera. I think that might be the only thing the guy knows how to do, like really well. Like if I were Sam Raimi, I wouldn't have given him the job at all. Thank you so much for gifting a channel membership, Carrie. Who got the gifted membership? Who got the gifted membo? Membo. Who got that? Let me scan on up. Let's see how difficult YouTube makes it for me. For Jazz 89 got a channel membership. Welcome on in for Jazz. Hope you're doing very, very well. I do too, Jamie. Yes. I mean, the first 3 films are untouchable. Yeah. Although 2013 I do have as my second favorite in the franchise. Well, only Burn did he step back. Like a lot, and I think it was because of his illness, and I think he was a lot more involved with 2013, not as much with Rise, but still there, and then very not involved with Burn, but understandably so, right? I mean, I don't think it was just because he didn't want to be a part of it. By the way, Ben, I haven't even said what's up. I do this to Ben all the time. Ben's been a channel member and a community member that I've seen all over the place for years now. Even before I had my own channel, I saw Ben in places, in chats on other people's streams. And I continue to with this terrible behavior. Ben, thank you so much for being a channel member, and welcome on in 25 minutes late. During the rollout, it was a remake. Yeah. Well, and I think part of that, Joe, is that when they were developing it, it was going to be a remake. Ashton Kutcher, no joke, was going to play Ash at one point. And I don't know what happened, is if there was something with the rights at that point that that Sam was able to get the rights back in this. I would need to look back on it, but guys, I used to go to this website all the time, darkhorizons.com, and I remember them talking about the Evil Dead remake. And at that time, that's what it was going to be. It was going to be a remake, Ashton Kutcher playing Ash, and then it switched gears and it became what we ended up getting. And I think the talk of the remake started probably back in like 2009 or 2010. So I think some of that conversation just got like melded into everything with the 2013 film. And I think in the 2013 film, yeah, it kind of looks and feels like a remake, even though it's technically a sequel. So what are we just going to call? Let's just start calling Halloween 2018 a remake. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Like, Halloween 4 is more of a remake than Halloween 2018. But I guess we could just put it in an article and say that Halloween 2018 is a remake of the original film. So it's like, because you don't need the original film really to follow what's going on. So, yeah, canceled in 3, 2, 1. That's, anytime you say, and really it is just about like, we've had our fun. It's been great. Like, I love Mia, I love Beth and Ellie, and I love it all. Like, I just don't like Burn, and it has nothing to do. Why I don't like Burn has nothing to do with women in the movie, but I think we're just at that point where it's like, okay, let's just have a little swing back, right? No big deal. Everyone can have their fun, and it doesn't mean no one's fun needs to be at the expense of anyone else's, right? Exactly. That's why people love it. So we can't stay away from it, right? It was cool to veer away from it, like Bruce said. Like, it was cool to do it. Now it's time to go back. And I even think like 2013 does have some humor. I think Rise has some humor. Not very much for either one of those, but it's kind of there. But yeah, Burn is joyless for me. Bryce Hart Scary, one of our great channel members here, says, I'm at work and have to go, Davey. Thank you for your content. Please more collabs with Haddonfield Radio. Guys, I love, oh my God, Joe and Christian over at Haddonfield Radio. That's one of my favorite channels on YouTube. And Bryce says, that's how I found your channel, and you're great. Thank you so very much. Those guys are so sweet. When you engage in their comment section, like, there have been numerous times where they've shouted, like, I've tuned into an episode and I'm just sitting there listening, and then they shout me out for being active in their community and for having my own thing going on. And it's happened more than once to where I'm like, oh my God, this is like the sweetness that we look for in this space, right? Thank you so very much, Bryce. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me know that. You may have said that at some point another time, or let me know that's how you found me. That's amazing. I love what those guys do. I would love to do anything else with them. Absolutely. Yeah. They have a great channel. It's a really great channel for like deep dives, and a really good, like, hey, you're having a tough time sleeping. I mean, of course, I still listen to the episodes in full, but if I'm ever having a tough time listening, I just pop on one of those. It was a letdown. Yeah. Yeah. Meh is like being nice, I would say. Like, I try to be nice about it because it's my favorite franchise, but then I also get like protective. 1981 was the first movie. Well, 81 is when it premiered. Paul, it premiered, I think it was October 15th, 1981 in Detroit or Pontiac. It might technically be Pontiac, Michigan, where it premiered. And then, guys, the original Evil Dead didn't have a theatrical run until 1983. So it was April of 83 is when it hit theaters. Debuted in 81. It might have played in small, very small, or maybe at festivals, but they were looking for distribution. And it took until, a year and a half, pretty much, April of 83, until it started hitting the theater. Haven't seen it yet. Gotcha. But it has to be pretty deep stuff for me to consider anything a spoiler. Yeah, I wouldn't. Obviously you should watch it, Aaron, so you can, everyone should just check it out for themselves and not let my words deter you from that. But yeah, it's I never thought I'd be disappointed in an Evil Dead movie like that. I gotta be honest, never thought in a million years. Deadite Daddy was my nickname in high school. Deadite Tia is the best Deadite. Well, I will say this, the actress is really good. She's the one that looks probably the most like a Deadite in the whole movie. A beautiful actress too. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Nathan says, I'm not as big of a fan of the IP as you, but I gave Burn a chance because I love overpriced popcorn and going to the movies. My eyes were very heavy with boredom during the last 20 minutes. Fuck, dude, the end is really bad. There's a point like an hour and 15 in when I wrote my notes. I watched it 3 times. Second time I watched it, I wrote crazy person notes in the theater, 20 pages of Mad Men notes. Just mad scientists, And I was like, at an hour 15 is when it really felt like it got going. Hour 15, a movie that's an hour and 51 minutes long. Hour and 15 really gets going, but then the last 20 minutes are boring and lame. Yeah, at least there's that bathroom scene. I could have taken a whole movie that was just kind of like that a little bit more. Yeah. Oh no, she just sits there. She just sits there like she's what's-her-face from Obsession. It's so dumb the way they don't seem to understand the rules. What's happening, Rebel Sky, one of our great channel members? Welcome on in. Carrie, I couldn't stop thinking about it while I was watching Obsession. The entire time I'm watching Obsession, I'm thinking, wow, I've been in relationships where women have acted this way. I never broke the willow, but damn. And then I'm like sitting there thinking or looking at Michael Johnston, just like, I can't stop thinking about him. He looks just like Bruce Campbell. And there's like it's funny. I've said it before here on the channel. Michael Johnston looks a little bit different. Like in real life, he doesn't look the way he looks in Obsession. He has this thing that whatever he does with his brow in Obsession, it's like Bear has like a face, like a default face, and Michael Johnston's default face is not Bear's default face. So even the default Bear face, it's a weird sentence, first part of a sentence to say, even the default Bear face is an acting performance, which I think is a really cool thing, by the way. Little facial tics and all that stuff, that's huge for me with acting. But I just could not get over it. I was like, oh my God, I want him as a young Ash. And Evil Dead's my favorite, and I would totally be okay with somebody being, if they're that talented and they look like Bruce that much, well, I think we got to go for it. Like, I'm serious. I'm deadly serious that somebody's got to reach out to him and see about that. You can't let Indy have all the good shit going over to X-Men playing Rogue. Like, let Michael Johnston have a little something too. They were both fantastic in Obsession. I think her performance is a bit more electric and certainly more dynamic. And so I think that's why the praise goes to her first, and rightly so. However, he's really good as well. And it's more about the two playing well with the yin and yang of the two characters, right? It's the chemistry of the two characters. They both can't be the same dynamic level. Really, really good though. Okay, guys, what else do we got here? We could talk about Evil Dead all night. Like, I could do it. I see you guys in the chat. Like, oh my gosh. It would have been really weird. I had really bad feelings about it. I'm glad it didn't work out that way. I'm glad they didn't remake Evil Dead. Liked Halloween 3 as a standalone, but it don't belong in that franchise. Should have been called Season of the Witch or Silver Shamrock. Well, so Carrie, but we have to go back to 1983. Was it 83 when it came out? Was it 82 or 83, guys? I think it's 83. When we go back to 80, whenever it came out in the early 80s, the idea was to have the Halloween series. Halloween 1 and 2 was just part 1, part 2 of that story. That was it for Michael Myers. Then it was going to be Season of the Witch. And then there was going to be another movie called Halloween, whatever. And it was going to all be, the anthology route. Like, I think we all know that, right? So I think when you put yourself back in that time, Season of the Witch does fit in the franchise because the franchise was meant to be an anthology. However, unfortunately, Season of the Witch didn't do well and it confused people and they went back to Michael. So now it retroactively looks way out of place, and in ways it is, but I don't know. I mean, Tommy Lee Wallace directed it, right? It looks pretty damn good. Dean Cundy did the camera work. John Carpenter and Alan Howarth did the music. Dick Warlock's there. You got Dick. You got a lovely Dick in the movie, and then you've got Tom Atkins' mustache and his back that just seems never ending. I think his back is about as big as the lower 48 of the United States. It's incredible, guys. That is that really is a man's back right there, Let's see what else we got here. Are they bringing back the Grand National? That's amazing. Finished one of my 30 films tonight. Wasn't particularly great, though. 30. Are you watching older films, David? And welcome on in, David, one of our great channel members here. Okay, guys, let's... I love... Yeah, Ken and Ashley really dig what they do over there. Yeah, I love Ken and Ashley. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We've been talking Evil Dead for a bit. You guys are amazing. But I want to get to at least one more. Guys, sometimes I load up a bunch of stories, but I know maybe we won't get to all of them. I do want to let you know over on Bloody Disgusting, they do have a 10 upcoming new horror movies still releasing in the summer of 2026. So a cool little article there that I'll just really quick, obviously they've got Insidious here. I don't know about that. It Ends, which I've heard is not even a horror movie. Are Bloody Disgusting losing their touch? Is everything okay over there? Colony in theaters August 28th. Well, this looks fun. What is Colony? This looks like a crazy zombie movie. After South Korean filmmaker Yeon Sang-ho's zombie masterpiece Train to Busan returned to theaters last week, his brand new Nightmare Colony will release in theaters August 28th. All right. Well, if you like Train to Busan and you want a little more zombie action from the very same director, there's a movie called Colony. This looks fucking wild, whatever's going on here. I got to give it to the Koreans. I mean, really just Asian cinema. You got to give it, I mean, like the style and the flair is... Man, they really go for it. I really do appreciate that. Of course, there's Buddy, which is the what is that? Is Keegan-Michael Key in that one? Yeah. There's that. I still haven't seen anything about. Like, I've not watched a trailer for Buddy or anything like that. But yeah, other than that, guys, there is the Backrooms, like Everything Must Go bonus footage. They released a extended cut of it in the theater, but if you just want to watch the footage, all of that stuff's on YouTube. So I figured I would just let you guys know those things, and then we're going to get into our last one here. This is one that Eli shared with me. Let me do this and let me do that. Guys, Clive Barker has announced a Kickstarter exclusive anthology book series called The Library of the Dead, which I just wanted to highlight here really quick because I love Clive Barker's work, and I think he's like, we need that kind of cosmic horror, and taking that body horror and just taking the surreal supernatural horror. Like, there are those people that just do it extremely well, right? Clive Barker, to me, is one of those people. So I just wanted to highlight this here, that they've got a Kickstarter. Let's read a little bit about this. Let's have a little read. Horror master Clive Barker is set to release the new Library of the Dead anthology project August 18th exclusively on Kickstarter. The 3-book horror anthology consists of 3 books. Oh, yeah, I mean, you said that already. Fear Eternal, Pyres of Bedlam, and Dark Descents. The project is collectively a spiritual successor to Barker's Books of Blood. Library of the Dead brings together new and out-of-print stories from the horror and fantasy author that explore themes of obsession, mythology, beauty, and horror. Each volume is accompanied by black and white illustrations, poetry, and new cover artwork. Okay, so it sounds like it's a way to get, new out-of-print. Like, I think that's, repressing something that's been, at least lost for some people to be able to get a hold of. That's really cool. And I like that he's thrown in some new stuff. I think the really cool thing here are the black and white illustrations. I think Clive Barker is like the complete artist, right? How many people do you know that write and then they do the actual visual art to match it? It's not very many people. Like, I think, Zack Snyder's kind of that way. I don't think he has quite the vision that Clive has, but I think Zack Snyder's pretty similar in that fashion. It kind of reminds me of, you ever like see a band play and there's like the guy that or the gal that's just singing, and you just figure, oh, what an easy job. That person's singing, like everyone else is busting their ass and they're not playing any instruments, they're just singing. And then you find out, oh, they write all the songs. Now I'm the asshole because they're actually the most talented person and they've like put together a whole fucking crew behind them so they can just focus on the thing that they want to focus on because they earned it, because they bust their ass putting it all together, right? And I get that feeling from Clive Barker where I'm like, this guy's the all-in-one artist. I don't know if he does music, but like when you can write and do the visuals, man, and do the visuals as well as he does, it's not just, we're not talking scribbles or like pretty good art. Like, we're talking like mind-bendingly awesome visual art from Clive Barker. And then he's got, the brain as far as storytelling goes to put it all on the page with words. I mean, it really is a special thing. It's a shame that a lot of his projects have kind of gotten taken out of his hands as far as film goes. But, we'll always have great projects of his to celebrate. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. August 18th. Well, that was yesterday is when it opens up. Let me see if I can find a link here for it on the actual page. Maybe it is this one here. Probably not, because it just says Clive Barker. You sick son of a boop. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should share the Kickstarter thing since I shared, Tom Savini's GoFundMe. So let's see here. Library of the Dead Kickstarter. Yeah, Kickstarter. Yeah, we're going to do a little Kickstarter. There we go. 3 new books from Clive Barker. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm going to share that link. Oh my gosh. Guys, they started out with a goal of $25,000. This just opened up yesterday. They started out with a goal of $25,000. Right now they have almost 2,000 backers, and holy shit, guys, they've raised 500. Oh shit, it just went up right here. $550,000 or $550,935. So pretty much 551,000. Fuck, dude. A 3-book series has raised over $500,000. That's incredible. But I'll share that link here on the YouTube side of things, guys, just in case you want it. There you go. If you'd like to snag Clive Barker's new project, there you are. And then I'm just going to swing on back over to here. Of course, guys, let me know what you think in the live chat. Jump into the comments if you have anything to say about Clive Barker, anything to add. Maybe I got something wrong. I don't know. Maybe he is a rockin' drummer. Maybe he kicks ass at the keytar. I don't know. Whatever you got, let me know down there, and I'm going to go hang out with the folks in the live chat. All right, guys, we're done covering news. We're just going to hang out. Oh, there we go. Hey, I do want to let y'all know, I didn't even say this. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. Guys, I put out a video covering Brad Caleb Kane talking about Crystal Lake and all that. Oh yeah, that was something that I was going to talk about here tonight. I put it on the thumbnail and everything. I put it on the thumbnail and I didn't even bring it up here. Guys, there's going to be a sneak peek of Crystal Lake, but it's only happening at the New York Comic-Con. And it'll be October 8th, I believe. And I don't know what it's going to be. It sounds like it's probably just going to be an intro or something like that. They'll probably show people 10 or 15 minutes of an episode, something like that. Who knows? It's going to be a very limited group of people that get to see it, right? So it's not going to be something that they're going to release online like day and date. It really is going to be only for the people at the con. Who knows if anything's going to leak? we'll just see as we get closer, and then once we get reports of what we can expect, of course, we'll be covering it then, and about a week before it drops. But I think that's just a little info for you folks on the East Coast. If you guys are in the the New York area, the New York City area, and you're gonna go check out the con, maybe keep an eye out for that. Shoot me a DM and let me know how it is. I don't want to know details. But somehow, why was I bringing this up? Oh, because I was talking about Brad Caleb Kane. He was discussing the tone of the show and everything like that, and some folks were reaching out asking about Elias. Are we going to see Jason's dad? So I'm putting together a video on that. So keep an eye out, because I don't know. Are we going to see Elias? Maybe. I don't know. I've got the video all shot. I just got to edit it. So I just want to let you guys know. Thumbnail is already put together and everything. So it should be dropping tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out for that if you dig the Crystal Lake news and you're excited and all that stuff. I'm very curious to know which actors we would want to see play Elias Voorhees if we were going to have that character actually, finally show up on screen in an official capacity. And in my video, I talk about, we go through the almosts and Elias is over here, but not really with the canon. We go through all that. So keep an eye out for that one. Should be dropping tomorrow if everything goes the way I want it to. But yeah, we'll see. The one shot and burn could have been broken away from her and show the boy getting thrown into some shelves. Yeah, it could have been way funnier. I honestly think the one shot was really cool for the trailer. I don't know if it needed to be in the movie. And I think in the movie, it feels slow. The movie just feels slow. None of the action feels very kinetic, and none of the action is edited in a way that feels frantic. Like, give me some frant. I need some frant here. No, I need I want that frantic kind of vibe out of Evil Dead. I really do. And urgency from you guys know me. The reason why I love punk rock is I love the urgency. And not everything needs to be urgent, right? It's not for every genre of music. It's not for every genre of film. However, with the Evil Dead, yeah. Yeah, no matter what Evil Dead movie it is, you need urgency. Army of Darkness has it. Why can't Burn? Come on. Would Eric Draven from The Crow fight fair against the Deadites, Davey? I don't know, dude. I wouldn't fight fair against the Deadite. I don't fighting fair. They're not going to fight fair. I don't think anything. I love the question, Prince, but what I really love is that right away I'm like, well, they ain't playing fucking fair. You don't need to play fair with them. Fuck those guys. Terrible language coming out of me, but that's just where my brain goes. Just picked up Obsession at Walmart yesterday. I'm looking forward to watching it. It's good, Jamie. It is, I've only seen it once, and I'm not one of the people, I'm not really freaking out about it, but I do think it's really good. It is a very, the cool thing about it, it's a simple idea, and I think it's all about the way it's delivered. It's not that Curry Barker's reinventing the wheel. It's the fact that he's able to take something so familiar and present it to us in a way that feels so fresh to so many people. Not necessarily to everyone, but a lot of people. Clearly, it's made $500 million at least by now. So clearly a lot of people were we all know the be careful what you wish for. It's one of the easiest, one of the most classic moral kind of phrases or tales, right? So I think you dig it. I'm curious to know what you think, for sure. It is for a movie that cost $750,000, and for a first feature-length film, yeah, it is, I would say, a pretty good knockout of the park there for everyone. Except for Sally Choi, who talked shit about how much money she got paid, and she's not going to be working for Marvel anytime soon. What's happening, Shelly? Welcome on in. This is Shelly, right? I think this is Shelly. Yes. Guys, Shelly, Raymond Malibur's cousin, hanging out with us, was kind of royalty here in the Death Squad family. We miss Raymond and we love him so much, Shelly. And guys, it was Shelly's birthday last week. Don't worry, I sent her love from all of you guys, so no one has to apologize for not having said it on her birthday, because I extended it for you on your behalf. Hope that's okay. I do. It probably won't, because Bruce won't play Ash again. But I would love to see more Evil Dead, and I am saying this as the biggest Evil Dead fan, at least in my area. Maybe not on YouTube, even though some of you might say so. I am A-okay with casting a young Ash as long as it's a good actor that looks like Bruce. That's all I got. That's all I got. 82. Thank you, Shax. Thank you. I mean, I think most people do know. I just wanted us to, like, we go back to that time, and it only seems out of place now. Or, you know, once they go back to Michael, it seems out of place. Thank you so much, Rebel Sky, for the $2. I really do appreciate it. I love it. I love it, Rebel Sky. Always popping in, always showing the love, and especially when people drop a super chat and they're really just like, I just wanted to give money and put something here. Thank you so very much, Rebel Sky. I appreciate you. I give up. Keep trying to write 1980. I know. It looked like you're having a tough time with it. Oh my, there was one time where I was like trying to leave a comment on somebody's like thing. I think I was on my phone. And I kept on, every time I put it in there, I was like, oh shit, there's a typo. I went in to edit it. And then I edit it and I'm like, cool, I'm good. Just push it. And I'm like, oh God, another typo. I must have like gone in and edited over and over. I got to the point where I was like, I feel like I'm on crazy pills. Like, what am I even looking at right now? Yeah, I think he's for sure signed up for that. Yeah. I think for sure he signed up. I don't know if they've named the role yet, but you figure he's probably going to play the son, right? My hubby and I went to Rod Serling's grave today. Such a peaceful, beautiful place. Watching Twilight Zone tonight. I love the Twilight Zone. Oh my God. Oh, so good. There's something about his Rod Serling's cadence. Let me take you to a place in time. A place of time and space. There's this real, I don't know, something about him. I love, like, it's so wild to me that he wanted Orson Welles to host that show. Not because Orson Welles wouldn't be a great host. I mean, Orson Welles is like quite a character and has a really awesome voice, right? A very expressive performer. But Rod, that's so cool. And hey, going back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, Clive being such a huge creative, like all-encompassing creative, and then even you know, the whole thing about, hey, the singer that only sings, and then you find out they write all the songs. Rod wrote like half of those episodes on I think he wrote, well, maybe not half. I think he wrote over like 50 episodes of the Twilight Zone. I had no idea. And a lot of it was, you know, he went to the war and stuff. There's a lot of episodes that like kind of call out, you know, the pain of war and the unnecessariness of war. Is that the unnecessary nature of war? And he had a fight with CBS. Like, Rod was punk. Rod was punk as fuck. Smoked on television, wore that awesome suit. Heck of a haircut. A haircut you could set your watch to. If you know that reference, let me know in the comments or in the chat. And yeah, it was just really cool to be like, this guy is just like standing up for what he believes in and being really good at his job and very entertaining. Yeah. That's true if it was just Halloween, Season of the Witch. Yeah. There is a movie called Season of the Witch, I think, or at least one of Romero's movies. That's one of the titles. Yeah. You can say that 2013 is a sequel if that helps you sleep at night, but I don't think you can look at anyone with a straight face and say that it isn't a. I don't know what that is, and say that it isn't a. Why did you censor yourself, Joe? I am a dick near shot. I don't damn near. Did you censor yourself for saying damn? Well, I'm damn disappointed in you for that, Joe. I'm sitting here trying to decipher your swearing. You should just swear. I swear. You guys can swear. It's more about the attitude behind the swear. You know what I mean? It's more about the feeling behind it than the word itself. The founder, the founder left a year ago and bought Dread Central. They've since recently decided the site needed a facelift. And I've got my weird misgivings about Dread Central too, because sometimes they partake in a little bit of the stuff that I see as kind of clickbaity. It's not a total call out or anything, but it's just, I see that a little bit over there. So that's why a lot of stuff, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, should I just go to Variety and the Hollywood Reporter and just like not go to the secondary source? I like going to the secondary source because it's a horror centric secondary source. It's not like they're getting money from me like showing it on here, but it's just the exposure and just, you know, supporting the people in the community. But it would be cool if the site looked better. Let's see here. What else do we got? My dumbass used to have a big crush on Clive Barker back in the day. I don't even like. Let me go back and look at it. There we go. Yeah. I mean, is it because of the danger aspect? Danger. Davey, it was recently announced by his family that Screamin' Mad George, special effects and makeup artist, passed away on February 10th. What? Whoa. That just got announced last weekend. Oh my gosh. Well, not that it's any of my business, and not that we had any right to the information, but I do find that it's kind of surprising, right? A little surprising that, wow, he passed away in February and we didn't know. That's kind of odd, right? I mean, no judgment or what, of course it's not like information that's like, we demand to have this information or anything like that. I guess I'm just surprised. Yeah. And again, condolences to Screamin' Mad George's, family, friends, the fan base. He really was one wild special effects guy, Let's see what else we got here. Watching the 90s as a teen and loved it. I really like Tom Atkins. So I used to see it on television, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. See it on TV and just be completely confused. You'd turn on the TV, you're mid-movie. Michael Myers isn't there. Like, double check the TV guide. Okay, Halloween 3. When are we going to get to Michael? And, I'm like a 9-10-year-old kid, something like that. Like right around the time where I saw the first 2 films for the very first time. So I didn't ever, like, after that, from being a kid, I was just like, what's with that Halloween 3? Like, it just like, was totally confused. And then I think for a while it was maybe not like out of print, but they weren't like making a DVD of it. It didn't reach that like digital version, I don't think, for a while. I ended up downloading a copy on it was something like LimeWire, very similar to that. Like, I downloaded a copy, like a AVIF file back in like 2007. I was actually living, I've had 2 stints in the Phoenix area. So back in 2007, I was in Tempe, which is where the Arizona State University's at. And I downloaded it there and watched it on my TV there. And I was totally sucked in, loved it, absolutely loved it. That was the very first time. I was 25 years old. That was the first time I watched it front to back, in an uninterrupted, environment. And I absolutely loved it. I didn't need to be warmed up to it. I was just kind of like you, Shax. I was just like, all right, fuck yeah. Atkins is great. I love the story. I love it all. When I saw the first season of Stranger Things, I was like, damn, somebody likes Season of the Witch. Thrilled to death that my favorite author of all time has been writing, but shocked as hell to read they're doing a Kickstarter to release it. Yeah. It's one of those things, though, where it's like, I don't think it means, I don't think it means anything bad necessarily. I think Clive is probably like, the cool thing about doing a Kickstarter is it's a way to gauge interest and sell the product at the same time, right? Because you're finding out who's really interested. And then you're also like, well, if this many people get interested and we raise this money, then we open up these things. So I think it's kind of like a cool business model for artists that want to. I mean, we said it, right? How many times has he had his movies and his projects sort of taken away from him and turned into something that wasn't really what he intended? Kickstarter or any kind of crowdfunding is a great way to do it the way you want to do it. And so maybe that's a part of it with Clive, is that he's like, I don't want anyone else involved. I don't want a publishing house or any studio involved with this. I just want to put these out and sell them directly to the people and give them the best product I can. So I'll just raise the funds from them right away. It's great. Joe, I might have missed you. I hope you have a great night, bud. Let's see here. Holy cow, guys. We're at 2 hours already. Fucking A. I can't believe 2 hours went by that quick. That's crazy. Ryan, you missed the whole damn thing. Ryan, I think I missed your... Let's see here. Yes, Ryan dropping a $5 super chat. Guys, I'm the biggest jerk ever because our guy, Ryan Michael here, personal friend of mine, Ryan and I, if you're new here, we worked at Hot Lips Pizza in Portland years and years ago. And God, I miss him. Ryan's a great guy. Ryan, I'm so happy we reconnected. The other night we had a big old chat on the phone, and it was Ryan's birthday was on August 17th. And I don't go on Facebook very much. I miss a lot of birthday messages on Facebook. Although I got Shelly's, I was able to give her a message, and a message from you guys. You're welcome, by the way. I'm kidding. But, you know, Ryan, ever just the, oh, don't mind me kind of guy. We're sitting there chatting on the phone. He's like, yeah, I did blah, blah, blah for my birthday. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? It's fucking birthday? Happy birthday. And I'm a dick for not, here we are talking. It was like 11:30 at night. I'm like, well, hope you have a happy last 25 minutes of your birthday. But seriously, Ryan, I feel so bad for missing that. Guys, give Ryan Michael, our guy Ryan, some love in the chat, please. Not only a digital friend in the digital space here on YouTube, but, you know, somebody I've hung out with so many times, and someone whose back I know I'd always have, and goddamn, I really do pity the fool. I fear for any person that would ever put Ryan in a situation where he felt like he had to get my back. Let me just say that. So I very much appreciate the support, every kind of support from you, Ryan. I love you, brother, and happy belated birthday. I will not forget next year, or I give you permission to punch me right in the face. How about it? Can we shout out Angus Scrim, who would have been 100 today? We can. Yes, we can. Guys, I need to get back into, I need to finish the Phantasm franchise, because I haven't seen all of them. And I guess we were talking about it the other week, you know, when Reggie unfortunately left us just 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. Really, I mean, really not that long, right? It was about a week and a half ago, or at least when yeah. So anyways, it doesn't ultimately matter, but I was like, man, I need to like just start from the beginning, rewatch the first few, and then finish out the series. You know, for both, for Reggie, obviously incredible. Reggie is the Bruce Campbell of Phantasm. He's the Ash of Phantasm. He is the icon, the fun, awesome guy that you root for. And sure, silly or whatever, but just like the guy, you know, that you really is the beacon of the movie, right? And then of course we've got Angus Scrim. Dude, could anyone else have played the tall man back then? I mean, what an imposing figure, right? And little known fact, guys, Angus Scrim, blink and you miss him in Chopping Mall at the very beginning when they're doing the whole proof of concept kind of video and selling the security bots to that group of people. Angus Scrim is in there in the crowd. Little known fact. Seriously, blink and you miss him. Okay, let's see what else we got going. I probably am going to scoot pretty soon here, guys. I've got a little creative meeting to get to, or creative kind of workshop to get to with a couple of buddies, so I don't want to be too late, but let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Ryan, thank you again so very much. Yeah, man, it is Angus would have been 100. It's incredible, like one franchise, because of how iconic he is, because he's a giant man with a very unique everything about his body, and just the presence, you know, the acting presence. I need to get back into that. I need to get back into Phantasm. David says Rod Serling was so hot. Guys, is that true? Was Rod Serling hot? I've never heard that before. I mean, yeah, I guess I could say, like, you know, I mean, the way he's got a very handsome look. I guess I never thought of him as I have a tough time, David, under like seeing if sometimes it'd be tough. I can't tell if guys are good looking all the time. It's weird. It's like with certain times I'm like, oh, well, Chris Hemsworth, I get it. Like he's got these classic features, but then other times people are like, oh, that guy's hot. And I'm like, oh, shit. Lost on me. Anytime, D-Man, every entertaining show, you have to stay away from politics and the grifting, so I appreciate non-chaotic show. Well, you know, there are times when we might dip our toe in that sort of realm when it's, you know, related to what we're talking about here. But yeah, I mean, I try to stay away from like really pushing it one way or the other. I'm a pretty reasonable, relatively middle of the road guy, but you know, certainly we all have our different views, and those things are complicated and very personal, right? So, regardless of it, you know, if I ever say anything as far as all that goes, like, you know, I don't feel like I'm in the position to tell other adults what to believe or what they can't believe or how they should think or if they're wrong about something just because I feel really good about my belief in it. You know, it's kind of, you know, I think it's just so personal. It's kind of like religion in that way, where it's like you let people find their way, and sometimes you let them find their way through example and stuff like that, but you don't need to be pushy. So yeah, I appreciate it. And, hey, some people would say I'm a total grifter. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anyone call me that exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying you're not the biggest Evil Dead fan who's a YouTube creator, but there is a YouTuber called Evil Dead Guy, so he literally took the title, and I'm the biggest fan that I know of personally. That's awesome, man. Well, he could call himself Evil Dead Guy. I mean, that's fine. Like, I have had people tell me on this channel that I am the Evil Dead Guy on YouTube. So he can have that name. That's cool. You know, just because you call yourself something doesn't mean you are, right? That's, at least I don't believe that. So, but that's great for him. I don't even know the channel, so I'm not even it makes it sound like I'm talking bad about Evil Dead Guy. If you ever catch wind of this, I haven't seen your videos. Maybe I should check him out and have Evil Dead Guy on the channel, and we can have a chat about it. And yeah, I've never taken anyone's. I mean, maybe Evil Dead Guy could totally crush me in trivia, which is, you know, very, very possible. All right, what else do we have here? Frick that new version of Bloody Disgusting. Yeah, it's weird. It looks, doesn't it? Isn't it odd that just going to a website, you can just be like, ugh, like that's like, I look at it and I'm like, this makes no sense to me. It's like, you know, it's like trying to read something in your dream. It's like, oh, I can see that it's English, and I try to read it and it doesn't make any sense. I once wrote a short horror story about a man who discovers a whole other world on the other side of the deep end of his pool. Then I saw Serling already did it and thought, well, fuck. Well, I guess this is what that says about you, Nathan. It says that, well, it says that that's a, you know, maybe a deep human fear, right? And hey, great minds. What did they say about great minds? Think alike. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like you ripped him off with it or anything like that. I do not swear at all. Never, not even in real life, Tia. Not even in real life. People have left a dinosaur and a cigarette, a drafting compass, and a pair of broken glasses on his gravestone. I left flowers. That's amazing. Yeah, oh my gosh. A pair of broken glasses. That's a good one. There are so many good episodes of that show. I mean, they're like the iconic ones everyone talks about, we remember, and, you know, maybe the, you know, the character like Eye of the Beholder, those doctors with the turned up nose, you know, they'll put them on a shirt and all that stuff. But man, there's so many good episodes that are just deep cuts, right? Actually, I think my favorite one, fudge, am I gonna fuck up the name here? I think it's just called The Masks. It's really good, guys. Oh my god, I'm gonna get goosebumps just thinking about it. It is this, oh man, it is this episode. It takes place like during Mardi Gras in Louisiana, in, you know, New Orleans. And there's this old man. He feels like he's near death's door. He's very, very wealthy. And the whole family is there. They're like, oh, we love you, Grandpapa. But really, like, they're just sort of like, yeah, can I die so we can have your shit? And they're all such shits. Like, none of these people are really good people. None of it's altruistic, the reason why they're there, anything like that. They are, and the characters are written specifically to be personifications of very ugly traits that human beings have. And each one of them has a different ugly trait. It's beautifully written. And the grandpa is basically, maybe it's a dad. He's like, we're going to play a game tonight. Everyone is going to wear a mask in the spirit of Mardi Gras. I've picked out everyone's mask specifically, and I'm going to wear the death mask. because I know that I'm at the end of my life. So he wears like a skull mask, and he makes them all wear these different masks. And to him, the face on the mask represents the personality, you know? And I won't get into anything else other than that. I just want to tell you guys the setup, okay? Because it's all about, you know, if I tell you the way it shakes out, it's not going to be as cool as just watching it yourself. But I guarantee you, watch that episode of The Twilight Zone, The Masks. I think it's called The Masks. So good. Oh my God. It is so good. That's my favorite. That's my favorite one for sure. I'd take a whole movie that was based on a story like that for sure. Yep. Kazam? Shazam? I don't know. All right, guys, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. I just want to make sure. Jamie, you're really, now I feel weird when I swear. Do you swear in real life? Like when you speak? Is it just in typing you don't want to do it? I'm curious. I am curious. But Jamie, I get it. No, I don't. No one, you don't have to swear. I just want to let you guys know that as long as if you're not directing it with ire towards somebody, to me it's completely okay. I appreciate it, Ryan. Yeah. I'm like, that's my dog. That's my dog, Ryan. That's my dog. My ride or die. That's him. August 9th. Okay, so yeah, it's been a week and a half. You'll have a link waiting in your email whenever you finish, Davey. I love it. Thank you for jumping in, Cecil, my good buddy Cecil from the Horror Show channel. One of our moderators over here. And guys, the Horror Show channel, it's great. I've been a team member over there for a bit and been working with them for years. Cecil, when I started my channel, Cecil took me under his wing and helped me out a lot with everything. So I learn a lot just from being around him and all that stuff. So plenty of amazing opportunities have come from, being buddies with Cecil. So yes, a link waiting. So yes, I've got to get to my meeting here pretty soon, guys. No, it's cool, dude. I try to cap myself at that 2 hours because I'm like, I get it. 2 hours is sort of, it's kind of like a bit much, right? Guys, you can let me know if I'm on here a bit much. I get it. I do go live quite a bit. Oh, sweet Prince's talk. I knew it. Oh my gosh. Prince is all over Cecil for comic book stuff. I'm not even talking about horror news anymore. I am just like, Prince tells me every time, he's like, you got to have Cecil back on to talk comics. And I'm like, YouTube might hate me if I talk about comics here, but we can talk about it on the Horror Show channel because Cecil talks comics on the Horror Show channel. I followed a channel about 2 years ago called Halloween Lives. They went on for about a year. Wait, so Ryan, is that the one that's the two brothers from they're from like the Midwest, or maybe they're from like Pennsylvania? The two brothers? I think that's the one. If that's the channel you're talking about, I totally know. Well, the reason why I think it's the channel you're talking about is because I started following one, same thing. I tore through all their videos, and then I noticed towards the end, I'm like, oh, they only did one, and it was like 6 months later another one, and there was like these really big gaps, and then poof, nothing. And I really dug their stuff. Like I really did. Let's see here. Yeah, they've given a different name for Mr. Sinister. And that's what Cecil, I have to talk to you about, because I was like, is that just a newer version? Because yeah, they changed the name. I don't know, man. You got to get Adam Driver on that Tom Brady diet. He needs to have gaunt cheeks. He needs to look chiseled in the face. He's got a big old long potato head. Take care, Lito. All right, guys, this is going to be, I don't swear in real life either. Sorry, I had to read this unless I have a reason to. I've been known to tell someone to F off here and there, like I did with my Twin Peaks Coffee Time co-host when I quit. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Well, Jamie, if we ever get to hang out with one another, I'd love to hear you swear. It would just be really special for me. So say fuck you and throw a drink in my face. Like, I've just always wanted someone to do that, you know? Do your thing, cuz. My favorite is Jeff Myrtlebank's one. He supposedly died and woke up during his funeral. Oh my gosh. Wait, what's a haint? What is a haint? What does that mean? I've never seen this word in my life. What is... Haint is a dialectal term primarily used in the southern United States. Oh my gosh. Refers to a ghost, restless spirit, or evil entity that is not passed on. I have never heard the term haint. Or is it pronounced hant? Oh my gosh. Shelly, I feel like such a dum-dum. Yeah, you learn something new every day, right? That's wild. 2 subs away from what? What number? I'd love to know someone in real life whose most ferocious moment is saying F off. Mother. Yeah, man, their channel was really good. It's too bad, you know, life happens and you know, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really did enjoy their channel quite a bit. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you so much to everyone that hung out. Sean dropping a 5, Paula with another 5, Jiggy with a 5, Iris with a 5, Rick B. Jaman with another 5er, Nathan Thornwood with the 20 bucker. Oh yeah, Manny's Manic Media renewed membership. Thank you so much, Manny. Really appreciate you. Carrie donated a membership. Holy cow. Rebel Sky with a $2 super chat, and my guy Raimai dropping a 5er, the birthday boy. Guys, 45 for Raimai. Isn't it amazing? Dude doesn't look a day over 37. How about that? I thought she was 36. That's a Mallrats reference there. All right, guys, you have all been amazing. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks for listening to me talk horror and talking horror with me and all that kind of good stuff. You guys unlocked a super chat goal, or you reached the super chat goal. Did you do 5, Paula, and it's only showing me, or you did 2 and it's only showing me 1? Well, my apologies, Paula. That's a StreamYard mistake. Paula, you were so amazing about your super chats all the time. Thank you so very much. I will be thanking you in perpetuity. How about that? But yeah, because the super chat goal was reached, guys, we're going to do a bonus live stream this weekend. So it'll be either Friday or Saturday. So keep an eye out. I will drop a poll for you guys to decide on what it's going to be. Because last week we just did the Fly 40th anniversary thing because I had to, because I love The Fly, and so we just had to do that. So, you know, what can you do? But I'll put it out there for you. I know Paula loves watch parties. I know watch parties aren't everyone's kind of thing, so that's why I just leave it up to you guys, right? So I'm kind of just going with the flow and really here for you. So just to facilitate whatever the hell y'all want. So I'll put it out there and drop that poll. Different kind of poll. But maybe. And Ryan West dropping a 10 jewels with a little gold coin there. Thank you so much, Ryan. Appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. If you're watching after the fact and you dig what we do here, hit that hype button as well. It's a great way to help the channel grow. Shout out to the Patreon members, YouTube channel members. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. The support is incredible. I can't believe that a channel as small as this one here has such an amazing foundation of great people that are this supportive. It really is something that every day I wake up and I just feel so thankful that I get to hang out with you guys and talk about horror, because no one wants to talk about horror with me. So thank you guys so very much for fulfilling that part of my life for me. And thank you to the Death Squad mods. You guys are incredible. Thank you for keeping things clean. Thank you for, even when things get contentious in here from time to time, allowing the temperature to chill out, but also being stern enough to let people know that they need to mind the mods, all that kind of good stuff. We like to get along here. At least that's what I want for the the whole attitude here. So thank you again, guys. You are all so very awesome. I will be back tomorrow night. I've got something going on, so nothing tomorrow. But we might be doing a Friday and Saturday kind of thing this weekend. So be on the lookout. And speaking of being on the lookout, look out for my Elias Voorhees in Crystal Lake. Is he going to be in the streaming show? Let's talk about it. You're going to see that video drop tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out. You guys are amazing. You're all beautiful. I love you all so very much. Oh, and how do we end these things? This is what we do. Shake off the baddies. Okay. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.